of the select board, ask you to rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We are short a member this evening, so we'll go ahead and push off selecting a chair for the next meeting if that's what it's I will go ahead and make a motion that we approve the school and municipal warrants as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? That is unanimous. We'll skip the approval of the minutes since I was the only one here to attend that meeting. Next upcoming meeting of the select board is scheduled for November 20th, 5:30 here at Town Hall. Brings us to old business, item 4, discussion of boundary line with Bath. No real updates since the last meeting. Still hoping to have something that we can get to town meeting.
Mark, city manager of Bath is trying to push it.
And painfully slow. Brings us to new business. As I mentioned, Tonal Solar is not able to attend tonight, so we'll move that to the November 20th meeting in hopes that they can arrive for that.
I do have one question. With the agreement, Kristen has asked up in the letter she sent us, in the middle, would the select board like to request that they recoup the town's legal and staff expenses related to this?
I think so.
Okay. She wants to write it in the agreement? Okay.
See what she can get them to agree to. Okay, brings us to item 2, meet with Steve Reno, Road Commissioner, regarding purchasing and bid procedures.
Yeah. So I'm kind of got blindsided by this whole bidding and not being able to do any town work. And I'd like an explanation. Nobody actually
Sure.
put me in on the communication or anything that was going on.
I will apologize for the communication error. I think there was a breakdown between the board and Julie and you, and I'll hold that, which we're done. Apologize for that. It is a policy, so we certainly have the ability to change and revise and amend that as need be. In terms of, the language you mentioned in section G, that's on advice of our attorney. And it's avoidance of a conflict of interest. And honestly, Steve, it's not that we distrust you. It's the opportunity losing bidders would have to sue us and sue you for conflict of interest.
Okay, so it's been working for years.
Yep.
Works in other towns. So why all of a sudden it's conflict of interest in the town of West Bath?
Again, on the advice of our attorney, this is the stuff people go to jail for, and that is a quote. And that while this was common language, it's no longer common language. And I'll be honest, I look at RFPs for my job every day, and the same language is in all those RFPs as well. And it probably has something to do with the additional burdens that are there with federal funding now that didn't used to be there, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever the case may be.
So is there a way around it? Is there wording in the change that was made that would allow somebody from our company or,
There is.
It's
Sorry.
family members.
Sure.
Like, we feel very targeted, to be honest.
Understand that, and, all I can give you is my word that that wasn't our intent at all. I have tremendous respect for the Reno family and what they've done for West Bath for generations. There is language in there that allows the board to waive that exemption if the board sees it's in the best interest of the town. Julie had let me know that you had spoken to her, and one of the things that we had talked about is maybe we go back to the attorney and see if we can wordsmith it in such a way that, if the project is overseen and change orders are signed off on by an engineer instead of the road commissioner, maybe there's a way we can make that sort of stuff work.
Well, that's the way it has been all along.
So that would make perfect sense, actually, to do
Right.
it that way.
So I'm not opposed to exploring that further.
Okay, it's basically, I've showed you in your folders there that where I bid on jobs, what we've saved the town.
Yep.
And the previous years, who I bid against, and all these, it's all going through the system
Sure.
the way it's supposed to go through.
Sure.
So how is the town of West Bath going to get sued when you do it the proper channels? So as long as we follow the protocol on going with an engineer,
Yeah.
going through the bid process and all that, I can't see a lawyer telling us, the town, that we'll get sued.
Again, maybe there's a way we can carve out projects that go to the engineer, I'll be honest, we didn't think of that, when we were going through this. And we have a different board now, so we can explore.
So
some
my
of the
concern is with, along with that, is projects that aren't going to engineer that pop up that need to happen, that, you know, you have a washout on the road that needs to go get fixed and it needs to be done this weekend.
Yeah.
We can't do that, we have to go out and get bids and everything else, well, meanwhile, you can wash it.
There is language in here that if it's a matter of public safety or, is it like threat of further damage?
If there's anything over $1,000 that.
Yeah, but let me see if I can find it quick. In the event of an emergency during which immediate threats to life and property exist, the purchasing agent, which is the town administrator, is authorized to make any necessary expenditures without going through the competitive or sealed bid process set forth herein. Such action must be taken in good faith and require after-hours notification to the select board in cases where budgeted funds are available, or town meeting approval in cases where budgeted funds are not available.
So
That's-
basically, if
that's-
something happens, we call Julie
Yeah.
to, you know, let her know it's
Yeah.
dangerous and make sure we have her approval.
So how,
But that's in, section, 4, subsection F, on page 2.
I know I've been probably road commissioner for over 10 years now, and we've been working with the selectmen and other people, budget committee, on trying to get this money up, so we didn't have to go through all these hassles, so we could get the job done at the proper time.
Yep.
As you can see on some of these bids, we couldn't even get 3 bids.
Sure.
So it's actually, you guys are taking everything right away, and making it happen quick.
So,
Well, I think we were trying to do a couple things. We were trying to get similarities between, the thresholds in section 4 and then the, public works thresholds, so we're not sitting here going, is this a public works project, is it a non-public works project? It's the same across the board.
Correct.
So West Bath doesn't have a tech public works, so there shouldn't be any.
Well, the way the policy is, we refer essentially to things that fall under the road commissioner's public works.
so
In
maybe
this policy, and that's the way it's been since the policy was adopted last time.
Well, all I can say is, the way this is written, if we don't get something written different, I have no interest in being road commissioner. To go out and do little projects, run around hanging signs and stuff like that, with it usually few dollars that you do pay.
well, maybe,
Uh,
So the thresholds on the first page do not pertain to you.
Correct.
What do you mean?
Only the thresholds in section 11.
Would you like to read them?
Section 11 is anything from 0 to $9,999. Section, second tier is 10,000 to 34,999, and then anything over 35,000 has to go to bed.
So, basically, if there's a job to be done, for over- how I read this, for over $1,000, we need to contact 3 different people.
That's to be
That's
bid
what I
on.
have to do on the fire chief.
That's considered a bid, and it says anything that's considered a bid, in the other section, we cannot bid on.
But we're not going out buying stuff for town, what's going
I'm
on?
sorry, what did you say was the threshold? Anything over 10,000?
No, everything's over 1,000.
Anything over 1,000 requires a
Not for,
plural.
not for road stuff, no. It would be anything under 10,000, you
Oh,
just need
other
a
than
detailed invoice. Anything that's 10,000 to 35,000, for simplicity's sake, you just need proof of 3 written quotes, and anything over 35,000 needs to go straight
Okay,
That makes more sense.
that,
there. So, you know,
that does, but
if it's something that's 10,000 to 35,000, and you call 3 companies, and you know, give Julie a slip of paper of who you call and what their price was, then that's met the obligation.
so I guess the bottom line is, are we allowed to do town work? Are we allowed to bid on projects? Because it's written in here that we are not.
Not as it's currently written, but as we said, I'm happy to go back to the attorney and see if we can wordsmith that.
But if
To
you
get
did-
her more comfortable.
Okay, because
I'm not gonna promise that she's gonna sign off and say, yep, because she was pretty stern on this. But we'll certainly see if they want to.
I know 5 surrounding towns in the area, their road commissioner does work in the town.
I understand, but my obligation is to make sure this town doesn't miss it.
And I've been asking for laws and rules for posted roads and stuff like that for the last few years. You guys seem to manage to get this spot here real quick. And I'd like to know why this came up before we got permission to post the road in town of West Bath.
Or ordinances.
I think we all will agree that writing a road ordinance and the procedure that has to go through is much more cumbersome than a policy that the board can adopt on its own. Right. I'm fully on board with working with you to draft the road ordinance.
Kristen said we could have the road
Yep.
ordinance, but we'd have site,
It has to go through the ordinance process as well.
So you're going by a town attorney's recommendation, Terry?
Yes.
So you'll discuss with the attorney that this is an issue for
Yeah.
our town.
Well, I kinda need this sooner or later, and I want to stay as you guys are road commissioner. I mean, you guys are not gonna go out and find a person that's gonna be your road commissioner with experience and stuff that we give the town, appreciation we give to the town. To be able to help out our people in the town, because we really don't have a whole lot to offer our taxpayers, besides the decent roads to drive on. And you're taking that all away from them.
I understand that position. And we'll go back and see if there's a way we can work this language to, you know, make the attorneys comfortable, but also see if there's an opportunity to give you some more opportunity. Again, this, for me, this was not an anti-Steve Reno and anti-Reno's move whatsoever. If we can
Well,
come to a compromise, I'm willing to work on
I guess what bothers me the most is that I've been the road commissioner for, I don't know, probably 12 years. And I've done everything put by the book, but nobody even asked me one question about this. Told me anything about it, it just totally blindsided me in the whole situation.
it.
I mean,
That's fair
I mean, we
criticism.
get stuck, not gonna think, but we get stuck within 6 months. Can just turn around and pull this stunt on somebody who's been working 10 years for the town, doing the best he can. And you get, all of a sudden you get a couple of selectmen in it, that I pay across the bottom, what it was. But that right pretty much sums it up, how it was written.
So we'll be on the next agenda as old business.
If we can get turnaround,
Okay.
that's it. But I will give you personally my word that when we have new language, we'll sit down with it, talk about it before it comes back for us.
I appreciate that.
Can I just clarify one thing real quick? So, because I'm just a little bit confused, and what I understand what you're saying now is, if it's between 10,000 and 34,000, as long as we get 3 documents saying, you know, can we be one of those 3 documents on prices? And as long as we're lowest, we could still do that work, as Reno's?
Let me
It's just kind of confusing, the word.
Let me get clarity on that, before I say the wrong answer, because I believe this refers to bids and this refers to quotes. I
Right,
need
and
to
that's
find
kind of where I'm
out.
getting confused with wording, is the
Yeah.
bid and the quote part of it.
Yep. So let's get,
Because that would, I mean, that would also help, that helps a lot with, you know, moving stuff forward, you know, the 10 to 35,000,
Sure.
get stuff done quicker and.
Sure.
you know,
And,
because pricing and bids are kind of different,
Yeah.
right?
and this doesn't impact any existing contracts, so it does not impact the Blaine contract. I know from your perspective it may, and that's fair, but just so we're transparent, this doesn't mean, you know, the Blaine contract's gone or anything like that.
Okay.
And on the subject of numbers, I was talking with Julie, I think the 35,000 is kind of a low threshold for requiring a bid, just with the price of work, so
Used to
maybe
be
that,
about 50.
yeah, and it was reduced, so
What,
why was it reduced?
can you
when
think off the top of
everything-
your head of a project that would fall in that 35 to 50 that
So,
isn't currently bid required but would be under the new policy?
well, that's just involves, the problem with that is gonna involve an engineer now for anything over $34.99.
Right,
And
and
that's
the
gonna
bid
drive
is
the price of
expensive,
that
and
project through the
engineers,
roof.
exactly,
Yeah,
that's,
a fair point.
I mean,
with
look
the
at
cost of
all
everything going up, it's odd that the threshold went down, I would think the threshold would almost,
You could give them an example
Go
of
up.
the Pittsburgh job that you guys are doing right now. It's right in that number, because it was engineered. It got up over 50,000. Where it could have been a lot less.
Well, the problem is also, it all depends on emergency. If you won't start putting bids on it, it's okay, the road commissioner can't do the job, so they go get 3 bids. But those bids for emergency are gonna be up here.
Yep.
It's not gonna be no, oh, I've lived in the town of West Bath all the years, it's gonna be, okay.
I'm sorry, I have another question, I don't want to forget it. So there used to be, I was told there was a rule that if there were 2 bidders that were close, and one was from West Bath and one was from out of town, that, I can't remember the number, but that the West Bath person was given a percentage grace or something.
I've heard that as well. There's no documentation anywhere that that exists. There's no documentation that the board ever adopted that or the town meeting ever adopted that.
Okay.
And the attorney highly advised against putting any favorability language. It needs to be purely based on the numbers.
So what happened to the, you can refuse any bid you want, or take any bid you want. Are you guys happy with this job going down Great Point?
Well, that's a whole nother.
I think
no,
that's outside of the scope of this agenda item. I know I've gotten one email about it on day one, and I went out and took a look at it. I know you've been out there several times dealing with it.
That's kind of what the engineer, the engineer is still confused.
On the engineer.
So looking at the bids, projects that went out to bid, the lowest on that page is 92,000, and that was really, so that's way under the $50,000 threshold.
way over.
I mean, way over, but
Right.
where we changed it to, it was changed to 35,000
Yeah,
from
I just think
50.
it's
And that was
so low.
quite a while ago, 2019.
Now, that was
6 years ago.
These were all numbers that I retrieved from Pine Tree Engineering.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, these were the actual bids from,
Yeah.
you know, the engineering firm, so.
David?
That was raised to 50,000 probably, what, 3 years ago, maybe 4 now. Because the other was 25,000, something like that, wasn't realistic
Right.
with today's prices, what stuff costs and equipment costs. So I don't think it's advisable to lower it down to 35 to 50.
No,
It should have gone up if anything.
I agree. I think painting ourselves in the corner a little bit.
And as far as the policy, I know it was voted on at a selectmen's meeting years ago about giving a local contractor a bidder I believe it was 10% variance. And I'm sure
Again,
there's
we
no
found,
minutes taking or anything else, so they are, but there was, it has been given before, but
Yeah.
things change.
We tried to find that, David, we couldn't find it,
It was in a vote taken in here,
for 4 minutes.
it was a while ago,
Years
let's put it
ago.
that way.
Yes.
And I would encourage the board to try to find a way to resolve this in an amicable way for all the parties. I I understand right now, an engineer is hired to do a big job, and the engineer has some responsibility overseeing that project, correct?
Yep.
Not
Well,
just the road commissioner.
It costs extra.
Yeah, it's not just the road commissioner who oversees everything, right?
Correct.
So there should be a way to find a sensible solution to this.
That works legally.
I have a question.
Yeah.
In the last sentence in this,
Or you,
the new F, section 5F.
oh, yeah.
So-
The last sentence.
Yes.
And what was your question?
So they would be able to bid on it if it's an engineered project. If the
If
select
the
board
select board
waive, chose to waive the,
Right. Which we would have to do before the RFP went out.
but it is possible
Yeah.
with this right.
So the sentence we're talking about says, this provision may be waived by the select board only if it determines by vote that the official or employee has not had and will not have any role in the development, approval, or oversight of the project.
So if it's an engineered project,
We can be on the project, but there's no two of us, so that wouldn't work.
well, no, if.
Except that if it's
If it's
engineered,
engineered and
then
it's.
you would be able to work on it,
Yes.
because you would have the oversight.
Yeah.
If the select board
Everything that goes
waives
out
it.
to bid for us is engineered. It's all, it's.
Right,
Exactly.
I know.
So basically there's the.
But it
loophole.
does need the board's approval to have.
And so,
You bid on it.
and so how does that work? Do we put together the bid first, or does the approval happen first?
No, we would have to,
Approve that we are allowed to do it?
if we don't waive this language would need to appear in the bid before the bid was released, which the board would have to vote on.
Right,
So we would have to vote on it before the bids were.
okay.
You realize how much you have driving the cost up for projects in the town of West Bath by doing all this, correct? Your attorney advised that you had to spend more money.
I mean, I can understand that argument. I could also counter argue that it's gonna increase competition and therefore bring down prices. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're wrong. There's a possibility for those scenarios, I agree.
I think I'd look into seeing how many towns have got sued for something like this, because I don't see what they could sue the town for.
Again, we'll go back to the attorney and see if there's language that she's comfortable with that also works for the
Thank
situation.
you for your help,
Go on.
that's appreciated.
But if that takes a while, there is a provision where you could get a, select board approval.
Correct.
And then you could still continue to do the work.
Yeah.
Just as long as, Reno's notified ahead of time. And so is there a guarantee that he would be notified ahead of time?
Well, the project usually go.
Like if a project, if there's a project that you know is coming up, that you can notify him ahead of time?
Well,
Or that you guys can at least bring it upon your meeting minutes?
One thing as a road commissioner, you
Yeah,
probably bring the
yeah.
projects to us to begin with, right?
So,
Right.
Yeah, but let's start with that budget we have right now. They pretty much put a freeze on it for me to do what I had planned with the budget that we would got from the townspeople for this year.
Because
Now, I had
it's too
nothing
late
planned
to
to
do
do anything gonna
anything.
happen on this fall.
Yeah.
I ain't probably gonna do anything until I can hear what I can do or cannot do. I mean, you guys want me to go out and find, these jobs, fix these places and everything, and then you just don't want me to, all you want me to do is oversee it. And it's like,
Yeah, that doesn't work.
you drove my drive right out of wanting to be a road commissioner. I'd be more than glad to bid on you guys' jobs. Than be a road commissioner.
Understood. Give us a couple weeks to circle back to the attorney and hopefully we can get something back here, for the 20th. See if we can.
So, is there any way before the next meeting, you can at least get some clarification on what we can do, because there is some small projects that need to be done. Are we allowed to, what
Yeah,
we're
they
allowed
think-
to do, what we're not allowed to do?
Well, anything under 35 right now.
Well, well, that was the question.
Yeah.
There was a question whether that
What is
was allowed or not.
I think if Julie reaches out to the attorney, I mean, she's the person.
I mean, that's possible.
And get some clarity on that,
She can give us the yay or nay on that.
Yeah.
Well, for example, we had,
All we're looking for there is an interpretation of existing policy, not
Right,
change
right,
the
right.
policy, so
Exactly.
we don't need to meet again
Yeah.
before Julie can figure that out.
I had planned on finishing another overlay on Birch Point Road this fall. And there's no way in heck we could send out and get 3 bids now, and we haven't even come in reasonable.
So there's only about 3 weeks of payment left, period.
Right. So that kinda puts the town in a bind, getting trying to finish that last phase of the Birch Point Road. So if you could come up with an answer whether we can continue on what we had planned on at least that part, would be something that we need as soon as possible.
how long, much longer is the hot top plant open?
Oh, depends on the weather.
Nobody knows what for.
3 more weeks.
Some cook runs out of work.
It's usually, if you get into December, you're doing good.
Yeah, I know, so Birch Point is awful close to that time frame.
Yeah, we'd have to schedule it like this week. Next week, this week. And that's even a maybe at that point.
Okay, appreciate you coming up.
Yep,
And
appreciate you
I'll
guys'
take
time.
responsibility and apologize for the miscommunication initially, but let's see if we can figure out a way to fix this for all of us.
Alright, thank you.
As soon as I get clarity, I'll let you know.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
Is that it?
Next we have, item 3, consider updating the human resources policy. You had it for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Table this one?
15 minutes,
15
yeah,
minutes.
definitely. Just, is this another one where the attorneys reviewed it and they're coming at us? This wasn't
Yes.
brought forward by, there wasn't anything specific
Yes.
that triggered this?
No.
Okay.
No. And
Just going through
that
all.
draft,
All
does
policies.
she have the red
I
line?
mean, she's been our
draft?
attorney for a year now, right?
Yeah.
She hasn't-
We actually sat here and went through it page by page for a couple hours.
Couple hours, yeah.
And most of the changes aren't anything more than
A family
law
medical.
required changes to harassment policies or legal policies or things like that. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we table, item 3 until the November 20th meeting.
I'll second that as well.
All in favor? That is unanimous. Any other new business?
Abatements, that's not, oh, that's future. We have a,
Yeah, we haven't been doing that. We're doing abatements.
we're still in the other.
Next week, next meeting. Item 3, public comment?
I can appreciate the position the board's in with your legal advice on the bid process. Considering how the previous administrator did not follow legal advice from our attorney, and look what happened to our legal process. So it does put you in a tough spot. I hope you can find some way to work through this, but you are in a, if the town attorney has a legal opinion, there's not much you can do or should do in that case.
Appreciate that. We'll see what we can come back with. Any other public comment? Item 4, future agenda items, we have abatements, as
Josh
well
will be
as.
here on the 20th.
Okay. As well as, the solar project and the human resources policy. Any other future agenda items? Got this long list from campaign promises you're ready to bring forward?
Not at this time.
And the bid process.
Right.
In the bid process, if we have, substantive changes to, something we can act
And
on.
hopefully we can get a quick turnaround on that.
Select board comments and announcements. Welcome, Garner.
Thank you, I'm excited to be here.
We should have had the election results, I'm sorry.
I don't remember off the time.
I don't either. We had 954
Yeah,
voters.
great turnout, very good.
West Bath always shows up for
Absolutely.
the vote, that's
Yeah.
very exciting, very proud of you
And
for
the new setup and the flow, I thought worked well, and all good. Using that new door we put in. If there are no other comments or announcements, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that
All in
motion.
favor? That is also unanimous.